Hey, what's up you guys? This is Haley here from Should You Buy It? And today we have an Amazon box. This is the last box from Prime Day of the items that I wanted. It came today. And the item we are testing today is in this box. And in this box, and boom! What is this? Yes, this is the Rocketbook Wave. Now, just like a lot of people here in the world, Anna's gonna join me like she does every week. We watched Shark Tank, and this was actually on Shark Tank. I'm not for sure how long ago. It could have been a while ago because I watch 4 episodes at once because I forget about it. And so yeah, so this was on there, and they did not get a deal, unfortunately. But I think one thing that they didn't touch on, at least in the edited version that we saw, was that you don't have to waste paper with this. So what this book is, pretty much how they described it, was you write with their special pen, which it does come with one on the book. Then you use the Rocketbook software / app on your phone. It scans the page, it makes it all straight and all that jazz. And then you can stick this in the microwave and it erases the page. So it's completely blank afterwards, so you can use the same notebook. And a lot of people didn't like that on Shark Tank because then you don't buy another notebook. But one thing this could stop is using a lot of paper, because I have sheets of paper just everywhere with notes on them from videos I've already done. So I thought we would open this bad boy up. Well, that didn't work out very well. I like the packaging. I like how it's not just thrown in there. Here, open it. Cool. It smells funky. And do I have a defective bag? Oh no, it's just in another little pocket here. So one thing they do mention is you do have to use their pen, and you can buy different colors of this pen as well. So it just comes with a black one, and there's instructions on the package. So we're gonna read some of those. Oh, it's just directions. It says send handwritten notes to your favorite cloud services, etc. But the one thing is, and I only know part of this because I watched it off of Shark Tank and they explained this, but there's little, and you guys can't see them, but I can. There's little note things here that you can mark, and I guess it will send it to certain things. And then as I'm looking through the book, it's got a list, which you guys can't see either. You can barely see it, of potential places it could go. But I don't know how to set it up to send it. Maybe that's something you do in the app. So we're just gonna get right on into this, and we're gonna draw something bad here into this book. We're gonna digitize it, and then we are going to see if this erases or not. All right, so this is what I've written on here. Hi Internet, my name is Haley and you are watching Should You Buy It. Today we are testing the Rocketbook. Love, Haley and Anna, because Anna's right here and you guys just can't see her, but you can probably hear her. Alright, so we're going to let this dry. It shouldn't take that long to dry. And then we are going to pop it, or we're going to get the app. We'll pop this in the microwave as well. And we're going to see exactly if all of this really works like how they say on TV. Alright, you guys, so here we're going to be testing out the Rocketbook software. I have not even looked for the software. It has a QR code on the bottom, so that's the first thing that we're going to scan is the QR code, and maybe that brings us to the actual software. So let's scan it. Didn't do anything. Okay, well, that QR code is just completely useless then, I believe. Let's scan it one more time. Yep, okay, QR code. Completely useless. I am not surprised at all. So we're actually just going to do it the manual way. Book app. Okay. We will get the app and let it download. Alright, so let's get on Rocketbook. And maybe this will actually explain a lot more to me. So I do have to sign up here. So I'm going to just do that. Let's kick things off by connecting your Rocketbook with your cloud services. Okay, so this makes a little bit more sense now with the little icon things that you can see here. So in the app, you have to set your preferences to where you want each of these little things to go. So I'm just going to want them to all go to my email. So let's do a scan. We want it. Don't forget to mark your symbols in your Rocketbook. So let's mark one. You guys can somewhat see here. We'll mark that one, or however. Tap the green check mark in the bottom right to send your scan. So we want to position the page within the screen. Okay. It doesn't like, okay, this is, okay. So let's do a check mark. We're going to send it. So it did mark off the little thing, which that's good. And it said it sent. I kind of wish I didn't have to hit send for when it's check marked at the bottom, because if you had a lot of pages of notes. But we will now go over to my email and we will see exactly if it's come through or not. Oh, look, right there. There's a welcome to your Rocketbook. So here's my page right there. It's actually pretty good. I did cut off Anna, but I did get farther down the book with these dots. So that was actually pretty easy to do. And if you are an artist, this would help out dramatically. So as I was looking at the picture that we just digitized, I noticed it did cut off a little bit at the bottom. And this is why I wish there was some / more instructions to this thing. At least the single sheet of like double-sided paper would be a lot nicer than what we're actually getting. Whoa! So with the icons, it makes more sense in the app, but the app doesn't give you a tutorial or anything with this notebook, which is a huge no, I believe, in anything. I hate instructions just as much as the next person, but I still would like a little bit. You can't see this in pretty much in the computer screen or through the camera, but there's little dots on this paper that it shows, that I think that's how they scan it and make sure everything's right. Well, the dots don't go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and they don't go all the way to the top. So when I was writing, I did start in the dots, and I kind of thought that was part of it. But then when I finished, I went past the dots, and it did not scan what was past the dots. So that's something that I didn't know and wish I was informed with when I was writing in this book. So now that we have this written down, I have it digitized. I don't want this anymore in this notebook, and I also did another page here with just some scribble lines on it. So we are actually now going to try to erase it. So let's just move on over to my microwave, which is like right there, and we will kick this bad boy into gear. I had to go get the instructions to microwave, and it does say the instructions are also on online, and it's also telling you don't microwave the bag it came in, if always use their pen, etc. One thing that I don't think it does, that would be kind of nice, it does not. So there's a back page here so you can remember what icons go to what, and on this back page I wish it would give you another set of these microwaving instructions, because I'm not going to keep this packaging, and I wish it would, I don't know, maybe just microwaving instructions. Like, you've made it to the end of your book. Don't forget to digitize and erase when you're done. Here are instructions. You know, that would be kind of nice just to have that as something so I don't have to keep more stuff with it. Because there's no instructions on the book at all. There's nothing. On the instructions it says that move this chair, that your notebook can't hit the walls when it turns. So my microwave, I would say, is about average size, but when you turn it, it hits the walls here. And I think if it continued to turn, it would just continue to go, but it says to not hit the walls. And I have the average microwave. I don't have a huge one, I don't have a small one. So that's kind of like a, really? You can have, whatever, we're gonna try this anyways. So the next step, place a coffee mug 3/4 full of water. Place the wave into the microwave with the front facing up. Microwave your wave until the rocket logo in the inside circle disappears. I wish they'd kind of give me a little bit of a time, but I'll do a minute. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna hit the side. Oh no! Oh crap! I wish they gave you a time, like an average of 2 minutes or a minute. Is it still in there? Yeah. So now it's another 30, so we'll have 2 minutes into this. So far, no. So it's been 1:30 with this thing in here, and we're supposed to microwave it until this little blue thing, which you guys can't see and I can't see either because of this thing, is gone. Now, it doesn't give you a time or anything, so when that timer goes down, it would have been 2 minutes. And I'm trying just to check on it. Okay, it's starting to go. It's starting to go. Okay, we see a difference in there, you guys. We see a difference. Come on. I'm starting to be able to smell stuff. I'm sorry, you guys aren't here, but this smells rank. This smells rank. So we have 3 minutes. I will stop it at the 3-minute marker after these in here. And I'm not going to add any more time on it too, because we are seeing a progression in that little arrow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It does say that if you have stuff all the way through or a lot of writing in it, to flip your book over and repeat steps 3 and 4, which is with the water and everything, and make sure not to burn yourself when you do that. It says, allow the wave to cool for 3 minutes before touching. The wave and mug might be very hot. Allow the blue rocket logo to reappear. So we will be back here in about another 3 minutes. It has been 3 minutes according to my timer. So we're gonna open this back up. And the rocket logo is not yet completely identifiable. If I mess with it, it is. It's still kind of faintly there. My coffee mug isn't that hot as I'm touching it right now. So we're gonna pull out the coffee mug. Still has a lot of water left in it. And we're gonna pull out the book. The book is still physically hot to the touch. And I can see an indent. And there's a little mark here too, which wasn't there before. But we'll open it up. And look, this page is completely clean. Now this is kind of like rippled and just kind of not damaged, but I think with the heat or possibly putting it in the microwave and it not being able to turn possibly did do this part of it, this little bit of a oomph to it, just putting pressure on that corner. That's something you can easily get out with like a phone book if you just put it on top. All right, we are back from the microwave and our book here is completely clean of the first and the second page. So one big flaw about this is you have to have a pretty big microwave to actually use this in, and it has to be able to turn. I thought my microwave would be big enough, but it was not because it could not turn on the edges. So I just left it in there and let it not turn, and it didn't do any damage to the book. The book does now have a mark on the outside of where the cup was, but of course it's in these rings, so that really doesn't matter to me. I could not see myself using this book for notes, maybe for notes that you had to send to multiple people, which I could see that because that would be something super nice. You could set, like the only way I can see this, if you're like a stage manager and you have to give notes, you could write them in this book and then set one of these to be, oh, you can still see everything actually. The indent of it. The indent is still in here. So it doesn't erase completely. It's still here. Some of the ink is still here. But if you had to send a lot of notes to multiple people, you could just mark like crew and cast and all that. And that would be an easy way to send a lot of notes so you wouldn't have to retype them. I could see it like that. I could also see this more as if you were an artist and you wanted to carry around maybe a doodling pad that you wanted to have digitized later, but you didn't want to have to deal with lines and marks. I could see that as well, so you don't have to carry around a tablet or an accessory to your computer. I could see that as well because you can doodle in this and then digitize it pretty easily. Would I buy another one of these? Probably not. Number one, I would never need one, but it just does not have enough features for me. Now, of course, I wasn't able to put it to the fullest extent. I did not like that there was no timer suggestions on how long to microwave this book. I ended up microwaving my book for 3 minutes and it looked like it was clean, but if you come underneath sharper lights or brighter lights like we have here, you can still see some of the ink that is in here, so it didn't evaporate all the way, and you can see the indent of the pen. I do like the pen. I don't know if this is erasable or not. Oh, it is. So the ending right here is an eraser, which will erase your pen if you don't have access to a microwave. So that's kind of nice as well. I think it's a great idea for sending notes to large amounts of people very fast and having to send them digitally. I could see using this as a college like kind of person, or like if you had one of these and like your friend was sick, you could send them notes. I could see this being used more in an educational setting or a work setting than anything else. I could not see this being used personally, but that's just me. I just don't have enough of a use for it to actually use these over and over again. So I did get mine for $19.99, which was Amazon Prime Day price. I think they're usually, I would say $30, or it could be $25. Amazon prices change all the time, but it works, and it says it does what it does. It does email pretty fast and all those notes. It works, but you'd have to find enough of a use for it to actually have a reason to buy this. I'm going to try to use this. I'm going to try as much as I can to use this, but it's just not enough of a use for me to buy another one. Another thing I wish is these sprocket holes were a little bigger so you could fit your pen in here, because you do have to use one of their friction ball pens from Pilot. You have to use those. They do come in other colors, but you only get black when you buy the book itself. So does this thing really work? Yes. Would I buy it? Probably not. I just don't have a use for it. Now, if you have a use for sending notes to multiple people and you need to send them very fast, or you don't want to type up notes, then I could see that. I wish there was more lines in here so you could kind of write a little straighter if you're going to be taking notes. But other than that, it does what it says it does, and I have no problem with it. It's just you would have to kind of mess with the notebook yourself to figure out how long in your microwave you would need, and they just didn't have, it just seemed like the idea of this wasn't finished, and I believe maybe on Shark Tank they were hoping to have some more of those fine details and those ideas more kind of worked out, but they didn't. And to a consumer who doesn't know how to use this, and if I got one of these like for a friend who's going to college, or, you know, like a little sister or something, like, here's a new college notebook for you, they would have no idea how to use it without keeping your outside packaging or without getting on your app. And to me, that's just a step too far that I don't want to have to take, and I know other people don't want to have to take either because we're lazy. But just, I wish that there was a couple more fine little details worked out in the book. The book still does work. I can just, if I look really hardly, like if I look like this, I can't see them. But if I look like this to the edge, which you guys can't see it either, I can see what I wrote in here. So it doesn't get rid of it 100%, but it does get rid of it pretty well. And it does come with an eraser, which is nice. I just wish a couple other things were worked out. I wish this was more prototyped and sent to some people, or sent to a select amount, and they'd be like, what is missing in this book? Because I feel like that's what's missing. It works fine, but it works for people who know exactly what they're doing. And a lot of us who just got it don't. Okay, you guys, so I've been actually working with the Rocketbook here for a couple more days now. I'm about another 4 days. And I'm actually kind of digging this a little bit more than what I was previously digging this. I feel like with this book, I can just kind of write whatever, and then if I need to, I can just erase it. I also learned on the end of the pen here, this is an eraser. Yeah, to erase. The lines that are left over, the little indents or the grays or whatever you want to call it, don't affect me as much as I thought they would. I thought they would kind of bother me, but they don't. The one thing I wish, now that I'm kind of like going through this and all that, I wish there was a way to like have one page not erase, because I do like to keep like kind of a calendar or a to-do list on here. So that's one thing. I wish there was like a way we could like put a sleeve over a page or something and it wouldn't erase. But I'm kind of digging this for notes and everything, because once I do a deal or something, I can just get rid of it. Or I'm guessing, you know, the whole erase page thing, I could just digitize it and then rewrite it later. But I'm kind of digging this. I feel like I can just write more freely in this notebook, and I don't have to worry about filling it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the whole notebook, and then I'm going to erase it. And if it doesn't erase very well, I'll do another update for you guys. But I'm actually kind of digging this notebook just a little bit more than what I was digging it before. But yeah, so that's actually all I have for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those down below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, join the Savings Army, never pay retail again. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!